The scream echoed through the opulent dining room like a shattered crystal goblet, freezing silverware midair and silencing the murmur of elite patrons. Elena Harper, the black billionaire whose tech empire had redefined Silicon Valley, stood at the host's podium, her emerald gown clinging to her like a second skin, while the maitre d' sneered, "We don't serve your kind here." In that venomous instant, her daughter Jamie, her brilliant, non-binary heir, eyes wide with the fresh scar of betrayal, clutched Elena's arm, whispering, "Mom, let's go." But Elena's gaze burned with a fire that promised not just revenge, but redemption for every soul ever turned away. Elena's heart pounded as she stormed out into the rain-slicked streets of Manhattan, the city's indifferent hum mocking her fury. Jamie, 22 and still navigating the fragile edges of their identity in a world that demanded labels, trailed behind, their oversized hoodie soaked through, voice cracking with a mix of rage and fear. They can't do that. Not in 2025. Not to us. Elena pulled them into a fierce hug under the awning of a corner bodega, the scent of wet pavement and distant food carts grounding her. She was 45, a self-made titan who'd clawed her way from Detroit's Rust Belt projects to Forbes' front page. But tonight, the weight of her skin felt heavier than her billions. They just did, baby. But watch me burn their world down and build something beautiful from the ashes. Back in their penthouse overlooking Central Park, Elena paced the marble floors, her mind a whirlwind of strategies honed from boardroom battles. Jamie slumped on the velvet chaise, scrolling through X on their phone, the viral clip of the rejection already amassing outraged comments. "Look at this, people are furious. Hashtags are exploding, boycott Lucille. Racist elite." Elena paused, her reflection in the floor-to-ceiling windows a silhouette of resolve. Lucille, that Michelin-starred fortress of French fusion cuisine perched on the 50th floor of a midtown skyscraper, had been the pinnacle of New York's gastronomic scene for decades. Owned by the reclusive Victor Langford, a silver-haired relic of old money with whispers of KKK ties in his family's shadowed past. It was a sanctuary for the white elite where deals were sealed over foie gras and discrimination was served as an unspoken appetizer. But Elena wasn't one to fade into the background. She'd faced worse. Venture capitalists who ghosted her pitches after seeing her face. Mentors who patted her head like a curiosity. Motherhood had forged her sharper. Jamie's arrival via surrogate 17 years ago. A deliberate act of love in a heteronormative world that questioned her right to it as a single black queer woman. Jamie, with their soft features, buzzed hair, and collection of pronoun pins, embodied the future Elena fought for. Fluid, fierce, unapologetic. "What are we doing, Mom?" Jamie asked, voice laced with the exhaustion of too many microaggressions. Elena knelt before them, cupping their face. "We're not just fighting back. We're rewriting the menu of power, of love, of who gets a seat at the table." By dawn, Elena's team was assembled via encrypted calls, her CFO, a no-nonsense Latina powerhouse named Sophia. Marcus, the queer black lawyer who'd sued big tech into submission, and a cadre of influencers ready to amplify. The plan crystallized over black coffee and croissants flown in from a Brooklyn black-owned bakery. Ironic. Deliberate. "We buy it," Elena declared, her voice steel-wrapped in silk. "Not to destroy, but to transform." Lucille becomes a beacon, diverse, inclusive, a place where stories like ours aren't footnotes. Jamie's eyes lit up, the spark of possibility chasing away the night's shadows. And the food. Make it ours fusion that honors every root. The acquisition war began subtly. Elena's shell companies snapping up Langford's debts like wolves circling prey. Whispers in Wall Street alleys painted Victor as a dinosaur. His restaurant's exclusivity a liability in an era of viral reckonings. Protests swelled outside Lucille's doors, rainbow flags mingling with Black Lives Matter banners. Jamie at the forefront, their megaphone voice steady. This isn't just about one night, it's about every no we've ever heard. Elena watched from afar, pride swelling like a tide. But doubt not cowled, she healed the wounds without inflicting new ones. Victor's counterstrike came swift, leaked smears branding Elena a corporate raider with an agenda, dredging up her queer identity as if it were a scandal. Tabloids feasted, headlines screaming, "Billionaire's bedroom secrets threaten culinary icon." Jamie bore the brunt, doxxed by trolls who misgendered them relentlessly, their inbox a battlefield. One night, as sirens wailed below their high-rise, Jamie broke. "I can't do this, Mom. They see me as a freak. You as a threat. What's the point?" Elena held them through the sobs, her own tears silent. "The point is you, Jamie. The point is us loving fiercely in a world that wants us small. This fight, it's our love letter to every kid like you, saying you belong." As shares in Langford's conglomerate tanked, Elena's bid escalated, a chess game of multi-million-dollar maneuvers. Sophia crunched numbers in the war room. Maps of ownership sprawled across screens. He's cornered. Elena. One more push. But Victor, sensing defeat, invited her to a private summit, not at Lucille, but a neutral yacht off the Hudson. The air was thick with salt and suspicion as they faced off, his face a mask of patrician disdain. "You're ruining a legacy," he spat, Scotch glass trembling. Elena leaned in, her gaze unflinching. "Your legacy was built on exclusion. Mine. It's woven from the threads you tried to snap: Black excellence, queer joy, the humanity you fear." Jamie's secret weapon emerged then, an underground supper club they'd hosted in Brooklyn basements, fusing soul food with molecular gastronomy, drawing crowds who craved authenticity over artifice. Videos surfaced, testimonials from trans chefs and immigrant line cooks Victor had overlooked. The tide turned. Investors fled Langford, drawn to Elena's vision of Lucille 2.0, a space where Michelin stars shone on diverse talents, menus celebrating global heritages without appropriation. "It's not revenge," Elena told a packed press conference, Jamie at her side, their hand in hers. "It's revolution. A table set for all." The closing was a spectacle, papers signed on the restaurant's own polished oak table, Victor's signature a reluctant scrawl. He slunk away, empire diminished, while Elena and Jamie stood triumphant amid the empty chairs. But victory tasted bittersweet. Jamie confessed over late-night takeout. "I thought winning would fix everything. But the hate, it lingers." Elena pulled them close, the city lights twinkling like distant stars. "It does, love. But so does our light. We'll feed their souls with stories, not slurs." Renovations began at dawn. Crews of artisans black, brown, queer transforming Lucille's sterile whites into warm earth tones. Walls etched with murals of intertwined hands in every shade. Jamie curated the playlist, jazz infused with Afrobeats and synthpop anthems. Elena handpicked the head chef, Amani, a non-binary culinary prodigy from Chicago's South Side, whose knife skills matched their poetic flair. "This place will sing," Amani said, eyes alight as they sketched fusion dishes: collard green ravioli in gumbo broth, plantain crepes with queer-coated rainbow reductions. The relaunch gala was electric. Invitations sent to those Victor had shunned, trans activists, immigrant families, everyday heroes who'd never dreamed of such heights. Paparazzi flashed as Elena and Jamie descended the grand staircase. Arm in arm, Jamie in a tailored suit with subtle, they slashed them embroidery. "Welcome to Nouveau Ciel," Elena announced, voice carrying the weight of generations. "Where every story has a seat, and love is the main course." Applause thundered, but beneath it, An undercurrent of tension. Victor's loyalists lurked in the shadows, plotting sabotage. As guests savored Amari's masterpieces, whispers turned to chaos. A pipe burst in the kitchen, flooding the floor with what smelled like deliberate sabotage, raw sewage mixed with spoiled ingredients. Panic rippled. A critic sneered. See, diversity ruins perfection. Jamie sprang into action, rallying staff with calm authority, diverting flows with ingenuity born of necessity. Elena faced the crowd, unflappable. This is a test not of pipes, but of us. We've overcome floods before. Tonight, we rise wet but unbroken. Repairs were swift. The night salvaged by Jamie's impromptu storytelling. Circle guests sharing tales of rejection turned triumph. Laughter mingled with tears, bonds forged over shared plates. In the quiet aftermath, Elena found Jamie on the rooftop terrace, stars piercing the urban haze. "You were magnificent," she murmured, wrapping them in her arms. Jamie leaned in, voice soft. "We were, Mom. I love you. Not just as my mom, but as my everything." Their lips met in a tentative kiss, mother and child no more, but lovers in the truest sense. A forbidden bloom in the garden of their resilience. Elena's heart raced, the line they'd danced around for years dissolving in the city's embrace. "And I you, my heart, in all ways." Their romance unfolded like a secret menu. Stolen moments amid the restaurant's rebirth, dawn kisses in the walk-in fridge, hands tracing scars of battles shared. It was messy, profound queer love defying norms of blood and society. A testament to chosen family evolved. Jamie's fluidity enriched it. Elena learned the poetry of their body, unbound by binaries. Yet shadows loomed. Victor's final gambit. A lawsuit alleging fraud, backed by planted evidence. The courtroom drama gripped the nation, headlines blurring lines between corporate intrigue and personal scandal. Marcus dismantled the case with surgical precision, exposing Victor's bigotry via unearthed emails slurring Elena's deviant lifestyle. Jamie testified, voice steady. Nouveau Seal isn't just a restaurant, it's home. For me, for Mom, for us all. The judge ruled in their favor, Victor's empire crumbling into bankruptcy. In the end, as snow dusted Manhattan's spires, Nouveau Seal thrived, a haven where a young trans couple celebrated their anniversary with whispers of forever, where Elena and Jamie slow danced to Nina Simone under chandelier glow, their love a quiet revolution. Elena reflected in her journal, "We didn't just shock them, we showed them grace." In a world of hate, we served love, plate by plate, heart by heart. And in Jamie's eyes, she saw the future, boundless, beautiful, theirs. The morning after the courtroom victory, Elena woke to the scent of fresh espresso and Jamal's laughter filtering from the kitchen. Jamal, Amari's partner, a burly, bearded trans man with a chef's tattoo sleeve and a laugh that could thaw winter, had become family. His presence a steady anchor. "Babe, your mom's got that glow again," he teased as Jamie flipped pancakes, their apron dusted with flour like fresh snow. Elena joined them, stealing a kiss from Jamie that lingered just long enough to spark Jamal's knowing grin. "Get a room. You too. Or better yet, get to work. Reservations are booked solid for months." Nouveau Seal pulsed with new life, its doors flung wide to the city's mosaic. Elena's vision had taken root. Tuesday nights for queer youth open mics, where Jamie emceed with raw poetry about loving across lines drawn in blood. Wednesday community feasts, free for families facing food insecurity. Plates heaped with cultural hybrids that honored roots without rivalry. Critics who'd once dismissed it as a gimmick now penned odes. Michelin inspectors lurking incognito, murmuring approvals. But success bred envy. Victor's ghost lingered in anonymous reviews. One-star barbs laced with slurs that moderators swiftly buried. Elena's days blurred into a rhythm of board meetings and back-of-house huddles. Her tech fortune fueling expansion's a sister spot in Brooklyn. Whispers of LA. Yet it was the nights with Jamie that grounded her. Their love a clandestine symphony. They'd sneak away to the rooftop herb garden. Bodies entwined under string lights. Jamie's fingers tracing Elena's collarbone as they whispered dreams. What if we make it official? Jamie murmured one evening, breath warm against her neck. Not hiding anymore. Elena's pulse quickened. The world would devour them. But oh, the freedom. Soon, my love. When the dust settles. The dust never settled fully. A rival restaurateur, Harlan Voss's slick. White millennial with daddy's venture capital and a grudge against woke upstarts launched ethos. A traditional fine dining spot 2 blocks away. Poaching staff with fat bonuses and veiled threats. Whispers reached Elena, Voss's sommelier. A closeted gay man named Theo had been cornered in a bathroom. Offered silence for loyalty. Theo defected to Nouveau Seal instead. His confession over a shared bottle of vintage Bordeaux, spilling tears and truths. They think they can bury us. But you make space for the broken parts. Jamie's response was fire, a pop-up collaboration with local drag performers, turning the dining room into a cabaret of resistance. Queens in glittering gowns served canapes with sassy one-liners. The crowd a riot of cheers and tears. Elena watched from the bar, her heart swelling as Jamie took the stage. Mic in hand. This is for every queen literal and otherwise has been told their crown doesn't fit. Tonight, we feast on fabulous. The applause was thunderous. But backstage, Jamie collapsed into Elena's arms. Adrenaline crashing into vulnerability. Was it too much? Elena kissed their forehead. It was everything. You are everything. As winter deepened, so did their bond, evolving into a tapestry of domestic intimacies, lazy Sundays curating wine lists. Jamie's head in Elena's lap as they debated menu tweaks. Heated arguments over supplier ethics that dissolved into makeup sex on the office desk. Laughter echoing off exposed brick. Elena marveled at Jamie's growth from the shy teen she'd shielded to this force of nature, navigating boardrooms with the same grace they brought to bed. You've made me braver, Elena confessed one night, tangled in silk sheets. Jamie's eyes, dark and depthless, held hers. No, Mom, you've always been the brave one. I just followed your light. But light cast shadows. Sophia pulled Elena aside during a staff meeting, her face grave. Jamie's been getting threats. Not just online, real ones. Flowers with razor blades in the petals. Left at the door. Elena's blood ran cold. She'd hired security. But this felt personal. A blade aimed at their heart. Jamie downplayed it, their stubborn streak flaring. I'm not some damsel. We fight together. Yet fear coiled in Elena's gut. Memories of her own youth bashed for holding a woman's hand in Detroit alleys resurfacing like ghosts. The crisis peaked at a high-profile fundraiser for LGBTQ plus youth shelters. Nouveau Seal's grand ballroom aglow with candlelight and celebrity faces. Elena and Jamie, finally out as partners, glided through the crowd hand in hand. Their announcement met with toasts and tears. To love that defies, a senator proclaimed, clinking glasses. But midway through Jamie's keynote, a searing monologue on intersectional resiliency, a crash shattered the mood, windows exploding inward. Shards raining as masked figures hurled Molotovs. Flames licking curtains. Chaos erupted. Screams. Smoke. The acrid bite of accelerant. Elena lunged for Jamie, shielding them as they crawled toward the exit. Bodies pressing in the stampede. Stay with me, she yelled over the roar, her gown tearing on jagged glass. Jamal and Amani herded guests to safety, Theo dousing flames with vintage fire extinguishers. Outside, sirens wailed. Police swarmed. cuffing the arsonists Voss's hired thugs, their confessions spilling under interrogation lights. Voss himself was arrested at dawn, his empire of exclusion toppling like dominoes. In the hospital waiting room, Elena held Jamie's hand, their minor cuts bandaged, the real wounds invisible. "We almost lost it all," Jamie whispered, voice hoarse. Elena's tears fell freely. "But we didn't. Because we're unbreakable, you. Me. This love." The attack made national news. Galvanizing support, donations poured in. Celebrities rallied. Nouveau Seal rising phoenix-like with reinforced glass and unbreakable spirit. Spring brought renewal. Elena and Jamie exchanged vows in a private ceremony on the restaurant's terrace. Cherry blossoms drifting like confetti. Sophia officiating with teary humor. You two defying gravity. Gravity. And every bigot in between. Their kiss sealed it. A promise etched in starlight, to love boldly. To build legacies of inclusion. Nouveau Seal expanded. Its menu a living archive dishes named for unsung heroes. Each bite a story of triumph. Years later, as Elena grayed gracefully and Jamie's innovations graced TED stages, they'd return to that first rejection, toasting with the restaurant's signature cocktail, the Defianta fiery blend of bourbon, bitters, and a twist of lime for hope. "We shocked them," Elena would say, clinking glasses. Jamie, ever the poet, replied, "And we healed us." In a nation still wrestling its demons, their love stood as testament, racism rejected, not with hate, but with a table set for humanity's feast. Summer heat waves baked Manhattan's concrete, turning Nouveau Seal's rooftop into an oasis of potted palms and misting fans. Elena surveyed the progress from her office window, the city sprawl a reminder of battles won and those lurking. Jamie burst in, laptop under arm, eyes alight with mischief. Mom partner VE got a lead on Voss's offshore accounts. Marcus says we can bury him for good. Elena pulled them onto her lap, the chair creaking under their shared weight, her lips brushing Jamie's ear. "Let the courts handle the dirt. We've got a legacy to polish." Their days wove work and wonder seamlessly. Mornings brainstorming with Amani over sketches of seasonal specials jerk-spiced escargot. A nod to Caribbean roots Elena traced back to her grandmother's kitchen. Afternoons, Jamie mentored interns, young queer talents from HBCUs, their laughter echoing through the halls like music. Evenings belonged to them alone, wandering the High Line hand in hand, anonymous in the twilight throng, stealing kisses amid wildflower tangles. "This feels like a dream," Jamie sighed one dusk, head on Elena's shoulder. "The kind where you wake up scared it's over." Elena's arm tightened. "Then let's dream bigger together." But dreams fracture. An exposé dropped like a bomb, a rogue journalist, tipped by Victor's dying loyalist, unearthed Elena's early life, not the polished narrative of bootstraps, but the gritty truth of a teen runaway. Queer awakening in underground clubs. A brief stint in juvie for defending herself against a basher's blade. Billionaire's dark past, from streets to sheets. The headline leered, twisting her love with Jamie into incestuous scandal, complete with doctored photos. The backlash was swift, sponsors pulled, reservations dipped. Protesters' misguided allies picketed with signs decrying moral decay. Jamie shielded Elena from the worst, fielding calls with a ferocity that belied their youth. "She's a survivor, not a villain," they'd snap to reporters. But doubt crept in during quiet hours. Curled on the penthouse rug one stormy night, thunder rumbling like judgment, Jamie traced Elena's palm. "Do you regret it? Us? If this undoes everything." Elena silenced them with a kiss, deep and desperate. "Regret? Never. You're my greatest plot twist, the one that rewrote my story into epic." They made love then, slow and sacred, reclaiming power from the prying eyes. Sophia rallied the troops, Her PR blitz a masterstroke. Counter interviews with Elena. Unfiltered and fierce. Reclaiming her narrative. I rose from ashes you can't imagine. She told a stunned anchor. Voice steady. And my love for Jamie. It's the purest fire I've known, born of protection. Bloomed into passion. Judge if you must. I'll keep building. Jamie followed with a viral thread on X. Poetry laced with facts. Threads of resilience weaving through their shared scars. The tide turned again. Supporters flooding in. The expose backfiring into a surge of empathy. Yet personal fractures emerged. Amari confided over a late shift. Their non-binary grace cracking. Seeing you too. It's beautiful, but it stirs things. Jamal and I, we re-solid. But the world's eyes make me question if we're enough. Elena listened, then hugged them tight. Love isn't a competition. Yours is valid. Messy as mine. Let's host a couples retreat space to unpack it all. The idea blossomed into monthly heart plates, events, intimate dinners for queer pairs, therapists on hand, conversations flowing freer than the wine. Jamie's evolution shone brightest. They launched a scholarship fund from restaurant profits, funneling kids like their younger self, Black, non-binary, dreamers into culinary schools. At the first awards gala, Jamie spoke, voice carrying the room's hush. I once thought love meant hiding. Now, it's the ingredient that binds us. For every you in this room, take this chance. Season your life bold. Elena watched, tears pricking, pride a warmake. Backstage, their embrace was electric. You inspire me daily, Elena whispered. Jamie's grin was wicked. Good. Now inspire me tonight. Autumn leaves carpeted Central Park as Elena planned their first anniversary getaway, a secluded cabin in the Adirondacks. No signals, just them. But duty called, a Michelin re-inspection loomed. The star they'd earned teetering on whispers of bias. Amani fretted, tweaking recipes till dawn. We can't afford to lose it, not after everything. Elena and Jamie joined the frenzy. Taste testing till lips numbed. Laughter cutting tension. The inspectors arrived incognito. But intuition guided, they dined as equals. Served stories with every course. The news came at midnight, 3 stars retained. With a rare footnote praising innovation rooted in humanity. Champagne corks popped. Staff dancing on tables. Jamal hoisting Amani like a trophy. In the melee, Elena pulled Jamie aside. The rooftop, there's alone. To Usto shocks that became symphonies. Their kiss deepened. Hands roaming. The city below, a distant chorus. Winter's chill brought unexpected warmth. Victor's estranged daughter. Lila, quiet lesbian in her 30s. Long silenced by family shame, reached out. I saw what you did to Dad's empire. Not destruction, redemption. Can I help? Over coffee in a nondescript diner. Stories spilled, her hidden life. His cruelties. Elena offered partnership. Lila joined as sommelier. Her selections of poetry of forgiveness, wines from vineyards reclaimed by diverse hands. As snow fell, Nouveau Seal hosted its first Langford Legacy Night, a menu echoing the old. Twisted into new foie gras reimagined as ethical seitan tranche. Bigotry's excess humbled. Lila toasted, voice breaking, to fathers who failed us, and mothers who rise. Elena and Jamie exchanged glances. Their love the unspoken anchor. Through it all, their intimacy deepened, exploring boundaries with trust's tender rope. Jamie's fluidity a canvas, Elena painted with reverence. You're my muse. My mirror. Elena breathed one dawn. Body spent. Jamie's reply was a vow, and you're my revolution. Spring's thaw mirrored Elena's inner bloom as she navigated the labyrinth of expansion, Toxale's vibrant queer scene calling like a siren's song. Jamie, ever the visionary, sketched concepts, a pop-up in WeHo fusing West Coast fusion with soulful twists. Imagine kimchi collards, queer as the sunset strips. Elena laughed, pulling them close in the sun-dappled boardroom. You're insatiable for food and for me. Their flirtation sparked a quick tryst against the conference table, papers scattering like confetti, a reminder that power was sweetest shared. But paradise cracks. A whistleblower from Elena's tech firm leaked memos not damning, but damning enough, emails joking about diversity hires from years past. Her younger self complicit in a system she now railed against. The irony stung. Activists decried hypocrisy. Boycotts targeted Nouveau Seal anew. Jamie fielded the fury. Their social's a shield wall. Growth isn't linear. Mom owned her past. Evolved. Cancel culture cancels change. Elena, sleepless, paced their bedroom. Jamie's arms her only solace. Am I a fraud? She whispered. Jamie's touch was fire. No, you're human. And that's our strength. Redemption came through raw honesty, Elena's live-stream apology. Not scripted, but soul-bared. I was blind once. Now, I see you, all of you, and I serve with eyes wide. Donations to reparations funds followed. Staff voices amplified in decision-making. Lila, with her sommelier's poise, curated a reflection reserve wine flight, each pour paired with tales of atonement. Jamie's star ascended independently, a cookbook deal, flavors of defiance, blending recipes with essays on queer Black joy. At the signing, fans queued for blocks, a trans teen gushing. Your words saved me. Jamie signed with a flourish, later recounting to Elena over candlelit dinner. It's like we're multiplying one story at a time. Elena's pride swelled, her hand finding Jamie's under the table, thumb tracing knuckles in silent promise. Summer solstice brought a festival, Pride Month's crescendo. Nouveau Seal as epicenter. The block party spilled onto streets. Rainbow arches framing food trucks manned by alumni chefs. Elena and Jamie emceed. Their partnership unveiled in full, no more whispers. Just bold declaration. Love like ours. It's the spice that makes the world worth tasting. Jamie quipped. Crowd roaring. But amid the revelry, a lone heckler Voss's acquitted cousin hurled slurs, bottles shattering at their feet. Security swarmed, but Jamie knelt, offering a hand. Hate's heavy. Want a plate? Food fixes more than you think. The man slunk away, seeds of doubt sown. Intimacy evolved, to Jamie introducing toys and rolls, Elena yielding with trust's thrill. Their bodies a dialogue of discovery. You make me feel seen. Elena gasped post-climax. Sweat slicked. Jamie's smile was tender. Good. Now see this, our future, vast as the ocean. Autumn harvested abundance, the LA outpost. Lumiere Noir. Launched to fanfare. Amani helming with Jamal's support. Elena and Jamie jetted west. The flight a cocoon of whispers and wine. In the hills' embrace. They hiked, hands linked, discussing succession. When I'm gone, Elena mused. This empire's yours. Jamie halted, eyes fierce. Don't talk, gone. We're eternal, you. Me. This. Their lovemaking that night was urgent. A pact against time. Back east. Challenges mounted, a supply chain snag from climate strikes. Forcing menu pivots to local. Sustainable hauls. Sophia's crunching revealed sabotage-tainted shipments traced to a disgruntled ex. Victor's echo. She growled. Elena confronted the culprit in a dimly lit warehouse. Jamie at her back. Why? The man, broken by his own demons, wept. They paid me to hate. Forgiveness flowed, therapy mandated. Job offered. Hate's a poison. Choose antidote. Winter's grip loosened into a milestone, Jamie's 25th birthday. Celebrated with a surprise menu dishes from their life together. Each course a memory. Elena presented a ring. Not traditional, but etched with ours. Merry minute-in-law's box. But ours. Jamie's yes was a sob. Their union a private right under mistletoe. Vows exchanged in the language of lovers. As snow blanketed the city, Nouveau Ciel stood sentinel, its lights a beacon. Elena journaled by firelight. Jamie dozing beside. We've shocked the world not with spectacle, but substance. Love. The great equalizer. The new year dawned with a vengeance. Lawsuits from Voss's estate clawing at Nouveau Ciel's foundation's frivolous claims of intellectual theft. Menus stolen from his defunct ethos. Marcus parried in court. His closing's a symphony of sarcasm. If fusion is theft, then every chef since Escoffier is a criminal. Elena testified. Her poise unshakable. Jamie's hand unseen, but felt under the table. Victory came swift. But the drain lingered, finances pinched. Staff weary. Jamie proposed a pivot. Crowdfund the fight, turn patrons into partners. The campaign exploded. Backers sharing stories of their own battles. Funds surging past goals. Perks included custom dishes. Named for donors loved Onisa lesbian couples, eternal embers soup. A trans elder's trailblazer tart. Elena marveled at Jamie's alchemy. Turning leaden stress to golden community. You're a wizard. She teased post-launch party. Their dance on the empty floor a slow burn. Jamie's hands roamed low. Only for you. Now, enchant me. Spring rains nourished growth. Lumiere Noir thrived. Its drag brunch a sensation, drawing Hollywood's hidden hearts. Elena and Jamie visited, guest judging a dessert contest. Laughter bubbling as amateur bakers presented queer confections pride flag parfaits. Coming out cakes. Back in New York, Lila's pregnancy announcement via IVF with Jamal's donation. A chosen family miracle sparked joy. A little sommelier in training. She beamed. Elena toasting with sparkling cider. To lineages we craft ourselves. But joy's shadow is grief. Elena's mother, frail in Detroit, called with trembling voice, heard about you on the news. Baby girl. That restaurant. Proud, but scared for your heart. The visit home was a reckoning, porch swings and collard greens. Confessions of Elena's hidden youth. I knew you were different. Mama said, hugging tight. Just wished I'd said it sooner. Jamie bonded with her over pie. Their non-binary charm disarming. We love fierce. Like you taught. Mama's blessing came tear-streaked. Keep shining. Both my girls. Summer scorched. Amplifying tensions, a heat wave closed outdoor seating. Profits dipping. Worse. An intern, a brilliant non-binary artist named Riley, faced misgendering from a veteran waiter. Old habits clashing with new ethos. Jamie mediated. Heartsick. This is our dream, can't let fractures form. Elena instituted workshops. Vulnerability circles where staff bared souls over shared meals. The waiter apologized publicly. Riley forgiving with grace. Pain shared is pain halved. They said, hugging. Their love, too, faced tempests. A week apart, Jamie in L.A. scouting talent. Elena in New York quelling a vendor dispute strained the cord. Phone sex sustained, but distance gnawed. Reunion was rapture, airport dash. Cab ride fevered with touches. Missed your skin. Elena growled. Jamie's nails digging. Claim it all. Autumn's harvest festival crowned the season. Farm-to-table extravaganza. Local queer farmers spotlighted. Elena keynote. Voice resonant. From rejected to rooted, we grow what we sow. Jamie surprised with a vow renewal. Under harvest moon. Rings exchanged anew. Forever's just the start. Winter whispered warnings, a cyber attack. Voss's final spite. Locking systems. Erasing reservations. Tech Elena mobilized her old firm. Hackers outhacked. Data restored by dawn. Irony's delicious. Jamie quipped, kissing Elena amid server hums. Our love's the best firewall. As resolutions rang in 2026, Nouveau Ciel's empire spanned coasts, a testament to tenacity. Elena and Jamie, entwined on the penthouse chaise, toasted to shocks that shaped us. Dawn broke over a transformed skyline, but Elena's empire felt the quake of economic tremors, inflation biting suppliers, diners tightening belts. Nouveau Ciel's no reservations policy, once a democratizing draw, now a bottleneck. Waitlists swelled. Frustration simmered. Jamie, sensing the pulse, innovated app-based lotteries, priority for underserved voices. Elena greenlit it, their strategy sessions dissolving into strategy of another kind, Jamie's lap as her throne. Ideas born in gasps. Spring bloomed with alliances, a partnership with a trans-led nonprofit. Proceeds funding transition care. The launch gala featured survivor stories. Plates paired with narratives, a stake for strength. Sorbet for sweet release. Lila, belly rounding. Poured pairings with wit. This read, bold as your truths. Elena watched Jamie connect, their empathy a magnet. Later, in the linen closet's hush, Elena pinned them gently. You heal worlds. Let me heal you. Jamie's surrender was poetry. Body's a balm. But healing scars reopen. An ex-lover from Elena's Detroit days resurfaced, a woman named Tasha, bitter and broke, selling tabloid tales of abandonment. She left me for ambition. The interview twisted, painting Elena as heartless. Jamie seethed, but Elena sighed. Truth's messier, we were kids. Surviving. She met Tasha in a neutral cafe. Check in hand. Words heavier. I hurt you. Let me mend. Tasha's tears softened to understanding. A quiet settlement. No more leaks. Summer's heat fueled a scandal. A viral video of a server new hire. Straight white guy overheard griping about affirmative action menus. Outrage erupted. Elena suspending him pending review. Jamie led the town hall. Voice steel. Our tables for all who earn it through growth, not grudges. The server returned humbled. After allyship training. His apology a bridge. Jamie's spotlight intensified, a Netflix doc on their journey. Cameras capturing kitchen chaos and rooftop romances. Filming test directors' probes into their bond felt invasive. Is it real? Or rebellion? One asked. Jamie's retort, it's love raw. Real. Revolutionary. Elena shielded them. But the exposure bonded deeper. Post-rap nights of debriefing devolving into desire. Autumn winds carried change, Sophia's retirement. Her mantle to a queer Asian phenom named Kai. The handover dinner was familial. Toasts to trailblazers. You built this, Sophia said to Elena. Now watch it soar. Jamie pulled Elena aside, eyes misty. Our turn to mentor. Their kiss was fierce, a pact for phases ahead. Winter's solstice gala honored elders LGBTQ plus pioneers sharing stages with youth. Elena moderated. Jamie performing a spoken word piece on legacy, from closets to constellations. We light the way. The ovation shook rafters. Backstage. Tears mixed with triumph. Proud doesn't cover it, Elena murmured, holding Jamie close. Yet storms brewed, a global recession loomed. Luxury dining first to falter. Elena diversified pop-ups in community centers. Scaled down Seal for all meals. Jamie's thrift cookbook sequel flew off shelves. Recipes for resilience. Their love anchored, snowy walks. Gloved hands linked. Dreams whispered against wind. As 2027 beckoned. A personal quake, Jamie's fertility consultation. Dreams of expanding family. With you. Or adoption our choice. Elena's heart soared. Fears quelled by hope. Yes. To all of it. Nouveau Ciel endured. A phoenix in flux. Elena and Jamie its beating heart. The recession hit like a nor'easter. Reservations having overnight. Staff hours slashed. Elena's boardroom huddles turned grim. Projections read as borscht. We adapt or atrophy, she declared, pivoting to takeout Tears gourmet kits for home heroes. Proceeds to food banks. Jamie championed it. Live cooking demos on TikTok. Their charm turning skeptics to superfans. Mom's secret sauce. Love. They'd wink. Elena blushing off camera. Spring's tentative thaw brought a beacon, a government grant for inclusive businesses. Nouveau Seal's application a slam dunk. Funds rebuilt. Expansions paused, but foundations fortified. Lila's baby Ayurveda girl named Arya. Her cries echoing first kitchen shifts. Our legacies screaming. Jamal joked. Elena cradling the bundle. Jamie cooing. Aunties forever. They promised. The moment a salve. But betrayal bit. Kai. Sophia's successor. Embezzled petty cash for a gambling spiral. Uncovered by routine audit. Confrontation in Elena's office was wrenching Kai's sobs. I wanted to be you flawless. Jamie advocated grace, rehab, not ruin. Elena agreed. A second chance clause in their contract. We're all thieves of time stealing from ourselves sometimes. Summer sizzled with recovery, beachside pop-ups in the Hamptons. Queer wellness retreats blending yoga and yum cha. Elena and Jamie escaped one weekend. Ocean waves lapping as they discussed family. Surrogate. Or foster the forgotten. Jamie mused. Sand between toes. Elena's answer was a seashell ring. Slipped on wet finger. Whichever weaves our world wider. Autumn's foliage framed a crisis, a dominant critic. Harlan's old crony. Pan Lumiere Noir as preachy pandering. Reviews tanked bookings. Morale dipped. Jamie rallied with a rebuttal feast inviting the critic unannounced. Serving dishes deconstructed to their origins. Taste the story, Jamie urged. He left converted. Next column a rave. Soul on a plate. Their intimacy innovated to tantric workshops, inspiring bedroom explorations. Elena's surrender to Jamie's lead a thrill of equality. You unravel me, she panted. Jamie's grin, good. Mysteries are for menus. Winter wrapped in wonder, Aria's first seal Christmas. Tiny hands grabbing spoons. Elena's mother visited. Detroit snow on boots. Her embrace, including Jamie fully. My daughters, she whispered. Family photos captured at generations linked. A shadow fell, Jamie's health scary a benign tumor. Surgery swift, but scary. Elena's vigil in sterile halls was agony. Vows renewed in whispers. Recovery was tender Jamie's bettered in sketches of dream dishes. Elena feeding them bites. Tougher than truffles. Jamie quipped weakly. Elena's tears, my warrior. As blooms returned, so did Bounty Nouveau Seal's resilience, a case study in business schools. Elena and Jamie, scarred but shining, planned their next shock, a global chain. Tables for the world. Summer's zenith crowned their odyssey, the grand opening of Seal Global's flagship in London. A bridge across oceans. Elena and Jamie flew first class. Nerves electric. Hand in hand through jet lag. The Venue restored Georgian townhouse in Soho with hybrid heritage. British pies with jerk accents. Teas steeped in soul. Press swarmed. Elena's speech a clarion. From Manhattan's rejection to world's welcome you serve unity. But jet lag masked jet fuel for conflict. A local far-right group picketed. Echoes of Victor. Chanting slurs. Jamie faced them. Megaphone in hand. Hates off menu here. Join or leave, choice is yours. One defector approached post-rally. A young skinhead with tattoo regrets. Saw your doc. Made me think. Over tea. Stories swapped. He became busboy. Redemption in aprons. Back stateside. Family bloomed. They chose fostering. Welcoming twins black siblings. Queer-coded curiosities from the system. The boys. Kai and Zion. aged 8 and 10, arrived wide-eyed. Nouveau seal their playground. Jamie's parenting was playful knife skills lessons with plastic blades. Elena's nurturing. Bedtime tales of titans. You're safe now, she'd murmur, tucking them in. Nights. After lights out, Elena and Jamie stole to the guest room. Love quiet but quenchless. Our circle widens. Jamie breathed. And deepens. Autumn tested. A pandemic whisper. New variant looming threatened shutdowns. Elena's contingencies kicked in. Contactless curbside. Virtual tastings. Jamie innovated memory meals, kits evoking lost holidays. User-submitted stories compiled into a digital archive. Food as time machine. They explained. The project a hit. Sustaining through lockdowns. Winter's hush amplified home. Foster papers finalized. The twins legally theirs. Adoption party was low-key backyard barbecue. Amani grilling. Lila pouring. Toasts flowed. To shocks that become family. Elena and Jamie danced with boys giggling between. Their kiss overhead a promise kept. Spring 2028 heralded legacy, Jamie's knighthood equivalent. An MBE for cultural impact. Elena beside at the palace. Dame Elena. She joked later. In hotel sheets. Jamie's retort, Sir Jamie suits now. Your Highness. Ravish me. Challenges persisted, a supplier cartel. Price gouging minorities. Sued into submission by Marcus. Elena's testimony, monopolies the real crime. Win bolstered. But exhaustion crept therapy sessions for the fore. Unpacking traumas twined. Summer solstice marked 10 years since the rejection. Anniversary gala at Original Seal, survivors shared stages. Victor's daughter Lila emceeing. Elena and Jamie closed. Duet on resilience. We return not to conquer, but connect. As stars wheeled. Their love once a spark in storm, now a constellation. Guiding others. Elena's final journal shocked the world. Yes, but it shocked us into grace. And that's the sweetest course.